All right. What you're going to experience right now, what you are going to experience right now, is silence that will stir you among all the chaos, among all the notifications. What you are going to experience right now is the flutter and the clutter. What you are going to experience right now is a movie in playback. You're going to experience flashbacks, many that will reflect even in your own lives. But more importantly, I want to start off with a story. This story is about a flight that landed at Indira Gandhi International Airport. The weather outside is 6 degrees. The aircraft has just touched the tarmac. Even before taxiing is complete, like each one of us, many of us in the aircraft stood up. Very quickly, we opened the overhead cabin and we pulled our bags out. I was surprised. A couple of minutes earlier, the pin drop silence in the aircraft suddenly turned into commotion. Everyone just stood up as if there was a fire in the flight, but that happens on every single flight. I wonder what people want to achieve. I wonder where they want to rush. I wonder where they want to go. But yet, I was victim and I was culprit to doing exactly the same thing. The reason I was culprit to doing exactly the same thing is because there was someone special waiting for me outside gate number 2. She came in her Audi and she was there with a bouquet to welcome me. As I walked out of the airport building, I saw her with a bouquet of flowers. Something within me just stopped. Something within me just became a lot more calm. And as I went outside and I hugged her, I was thinking, where should I take her this evening? This lovely, chilly evening, a winter evening in Delhi, where should I take her? Should I take her to Gurgaon? Should I take her to Khan Market? Or should I take her to where we could experience quiet? I offered to take her to Bangla Sahib Gurudwara, and she very happily agreed. Immediately, we drove off in the Audi to Bangla Sahib Gurudwara, a couple of kilometers ahead, and I started connecting my phone to her car. Before I could even connect, I realized it auto-connected. And when things auto-connect, it feels like home. It's like going to a friend's place and Wi-Fi auto-connecting because you've been there earlier. Such was the story of the music that played. And as that music played, I started thinking, what beautiful lyrics, what beautiful songs. Only till a notification also came on the display of the music board in the car. And it said, incoming call from Lexus. Now, if you're smart enough, you will know that Audi and Lexus are just code words being used to protect identities. Lexus was calling and I didn't know what to do. I was driving the Audi, there was silence all over again. Lyrics disappeared, the song disappeared, and I didn't know how to react. I quickly tried to find my phone and I disconnected the call. What happened next, I'll tell you towards the end of this talk. But we are living in a world where you and I are completely distracted by notifications that come and hit us every single second. Loud wins are celebrated a lot more than thoughtful, pensive days. We're living in a world where noise is equal to action, but silence is perceived as inertia. We scroll and we scroll and we scroll, but we don't pause. And as I take this short pause here right now, not very long ago did I experience a wake-up call. I experienced a wake-up call because burnout was disguised as ambition. I always thought I'm a fast-track employee. I'm going to achieve this by 30, this by 35, only to realize that I was surrounded by so many people, yet disconnected. I was always on, but rarely present. Be it meetings at work, be it coffee with friends, or be it going out for a movie. The movie is playing in the background. I'm sitting on those lovely recliners, but mentally I was somewhere else. As I came back home after a long day of 14, 16, 18 hours at work, the silence of my home, which was meant to give me comfort and solace, became my biggest enemy. I actually needed noise to feel alive. And immediately I would call up a couple of friends and go clubbing. Loud music, disco lights, and the thumping of the floor felt normal to me. It sounds bizarre today when I talk to you about this, but back in the day, that felt normal to me. I want to spend some time telling you what's the science behind quiet. Audie and I, one fine day, reconnected. And as we reconnected, both of us pinged each other on WhatsApp. She wrote Coimbatore, I wrote Coimbatore. She took a flight from Delhi, I took a flight from Bombay, and we met at Coimbatore airport. No prizes for guessing where did we go. We went to our favorite place. And very quickly went to Dhyanalinga. And for those of you who've been to Isha Foundation and been to the place, a great meditative experience. An experience like no other where you don't even maintain eye contact, but you actually try and look within for the 10 minutes that you're inside. Our brains try and shut down. It's not easy, but I can tell you the brains shut down because cortisol, which is your stress hormone, actually drops in moments like that. You're not fighting, you're not flighting, you're just there in the moment trying to be with yourself. Clarity starts emerging because the brain starts rewiring itself. I'm going to take another pause here because that's just about 10 minutes. And the moment you come out of there and go to the Adi Yogi statue, there is a light and sound show. That light and sound show is so amazing, is so fantastic, is so mesmerizing being a Shiva Bhakt, that suddenly all the chatter in your mind starts all over again. That chatter that makes noise, that chatter that makes you think 1,000 times, that chatter that makes you overthink and question even what seems logical. But again, I took a pause. I experienced silence among thousands of devotees that were making a lot of chants, that were making a lot of noise, and that were actually devoting themselves to Adi Yogi. And I realized 4 things that I want to share with you today. The first is, can we all pause before we speak, before we react, before we respond? The power of pause is the most underrated power ever. Second, we find time for digital detox. In a world where digital arrest also happens, we also find time for digital detox. But can we find noise-free micro breaks? What are these noise-free micro breaks? These are small 2 to 3 minute breaks every 2 to 3 hours where there is no noise. There's no favorite playlist, there's no music playing, there is no office calls, there is nothing happening in the background, and that's the power. This entire auditorium is filled up. But just imagine, that's the silence we're talking about. And these are called noise-free micro breaks. Many a times, many people, when they go through trauma, they go to a therapist, and a therapist will tell you, please journal. Please write down what you're thinking. I don't think you need to go to trauma to do that. Many a times, 60,000 words in your head every minute. Many of them fly away, many of them stay with you, many of them stick with you, but you don't realize what those words are. My suggestion is journal the unspoken inner voice. It is extremely powerful as you master quiet, is journaling the unspoken inner voice. And lastly, when you go to sacred spaces, be it temples, be it mosques, be it churches, guard that sacred space. Because that sacred space of being quiet is the most powerful space where you can recharge yourself. This actually is not esoteric. This is linked to business cases in leadership, in culture, in organizations. The most powerful leaders are the leaders who know when to speak, when not to speak. They are the leaders who actually help inspire deep trust. They are the leaders who listen when people just want to be heard. These are those leaders that create psychological safety among their employees, among candidates, because culture changes in quiet rooms. As I take another pause, I invite each one of you to let the world hear your silence. As children, some of us were very cranky, as some of us were very quiet. Some of us felt the need to make our voice heard, and some of us let our silence do the talking. Because your quiet, your silence can heal others. It's not just about sharing words, it's also about sharing spaces. Spaces that hold each other with silence. And that's how you can make silence your daily superpower. That's how you can make silence your daily superpower. Before coming right here, I was speaking to a friend of mine who went for Vipassana. And she was telling me, be it an Audi or be it a Lexus, Silence is never in the surroundings. Silence is within. And I invite each one of you to take that time to go within. Start now, pause this moment, because as you pause this moment, the one thing that I want to share with you as I wrap up this TED Talk is most of us know how to say nothing. Most of us know how to say nothing. Few of us know when. Thank you so much.